Hey everybody, what is going on? Hexlex here. Got another Master Duel video for you. So it is time once again for yet another one of our viewer specials. But before we start talking about the viewer special itself, I want to first start off, and this is going to be the norm moving forward for the next few weeks at the very least for the viewer specials, by announcing the winner of this week's Plex Leaderboard Challenge. For those still not in the know, we are giving away prizing every single week to the duelists on our Discord server, the Hexlex Plex, who has the highest recorded win rate on Master Duel, as recorded by the Untapped Companion. If you're interested in that contest, again, we're giving away prizing every single week for at least the next 5 or 6 weeks here. Then you can go ahead and check out the description below. You'll find a link over to the Discord page, an invite there to the Discord server rather, and then you can click that. Under the Master Duel section, there is a whole section for the Plex Leaderboard Challenge. Rules are going to be pinned in the channel there, so definitely go ahead and check that out. But I am happy to announce our first weekly winner, and that is going to be Hyper, or Hyner, H-Y-N-E-R. I'm not sure if it's Hyper or Hyner, but Hyniner. But in any case, they are the first winner of the week, the first weekly winner, that is, of the Plex Leaderboard Challenge for this season, boasting an impressive 63.5% win rate overall, shooting up through Diamond into Master very, very quickly with that. Great stuff. Congratulations. Thank you very much for participating. And yeah, if you are also interested again in that prize, it's also free to enter. The Untapped Companion is free to download. You can do so with my affiliate link in the description below, and also support the channel by doing so. So free to download, free to enter, and then you can earn weekly prizing simply by playing Master Duel on Ranked Ladder with the Untapped Companion open and then just sharing your page. It's really that easy. Again, details, rules, and descriptions and stuff are all going to be in the description, in the Discord server invite link in the description below. But let's move on to the viewer special now. A lot of you are probably already very familiar with this, but for those who aren't, this is where once a week here on the channel I get to show off games from you all, the viewers, as opposed to just seeing me play all the time. I think this is great because it lets us see more of a variety of decks than just the stuff that I play. And not even just a variety of decks, but a variety of builds and play styles as well. I've always said that it's very important to watch multiple people play in order to improve at the game. So this is kind of following in with that philosophy. Plus, it's also just cool to kind of come together as a community and be able to look at everyone's cool games and stuff. So if you're interested in that, you're also going to want to actually go to the Discord server. Again, invite link in the description below. And under the Master Duel section, actually right above the Plex Leaderboard Challenge, is our channel for viewer special submissions. The main thing that you're going to want to leave there as far as information is your 9-digit player ID. That way I can go to your profile and view any publicly saved replays. Do make sure the replays are publicly saved. If they are not, then I am not able to view or then feature them. But yeah, and then if you want to leave a little blurb about the game, it could be as simple as, well, if you have multiple replays, it's very helpful. If you want me to see one specific game, to leave either your opponent's name or the date and time of the game, something like that. But if you also want to leave a little blurb about, like, it could even be as simple as, like, I played this deck versus this deck. That's extremely helpful, but yeah, even if I don't feature a game, because there's only so many we can watch per week, right? Even if I don't feature it, know that I do watch almost everything that comes through, probably about 90%. And especially if it's a deck that I either play or I'm interested in, I'm definitely going to watch it, and probably any other replays you have too, honestly. So know that at the very least that, again, even if I don't feature your game, there's a more greater chance than not that I did watch it. And there's always the next week too, you know? If you have multiple games, you can submit multiple times. That is totally cool. The only real thing I ask that you don't do is just, like, submit the same game over and over and over again. But, like, as long as you're not doing that, it's, like, totally chill. So, alright, I've got some games picked out here for us. Let's take a look at them. Alright, so our first submission comes to us from someone who's got a couple of funny names, actually. The name on the Discord is Tess, T-E-S-S, and then last name Tickle, T-I-C-K-L-E. That's good. Also going by Circular at 3 here in Master Duel. I don't know if we're advocating for that or just reveling in the fact that it didn't get hit, but either way, that's good, that's good. Alright, so it looks like they've got a game where they're playing Red Dragon Archfiend versus Snake Eye that's rocking the DPE package. So, as you can see, we have the list over here, and does look to be a very solid, straight-up red/Resonator deck. Alright, looks like our opponent's going to be taking the first turn here. They're going to start by pitching a DML for a DML, so it does look like they're about to set up some Snake Eye stuff, and we don't have any disruption in our hand, so looks like we're going to see how well the red deck, red/Resonator, can take on the most popular meta threat right now, that is, of course, being the Snake Eyes. Post going to lead, of course, with DML into Ash. Ash add Poplar. Poplar looks like it's going to grab the Temple. Makes sense because the DML already added the original Sin. They're placing Oak in the Spell Trap zone. It's kind of interesting. Okay. We're sending the Ash and the Oak in the Spell Trap for the Flambridge, and then linking off Flambridge and Poplar. Ooh. Our opponent did not establish the Link Karibo. That can be very, very important. But looks like they are still doing the kind of main combo line all the same here, just without the Link Karibo. Setting the Poplar in the Spell Trap zone. Flambridge bringing back Ash and Oak. Oak effect gets to activate here. Oh, but you know what? They didn't, hang on, they never used the first effect of Oak, did they? Yeah, they're doing this combo line in kind of a weird order. Like, they have the general idea, but not weaving in Link Karibo and not using Oak's effect is kind of interesting, but... And by interesting, I mean not optimal. Anyway. Alright, Promethean Princess, Flambridge F is going to put the IP in the Spell Trap zone. We're bringing back the other Flambridge. Okay. Now linking those off for the Ambler Whale, right? Oh wait, and then we're summoning a Poplar, because we haven't normal summoned yet. We're linking Poplar and Ambler Whale for the Vert. This is where the DPE package comes in, I see. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of interesting, if nothing else. Like, I'm just trying to figure out if this is actually better than having the Ambler Whale on the field. I mean, the Ambler Whale doesn't do much on the field, it's more just like a body, but... And of course we drew Nibiru right now, yeah, right on time, of course. One thing I do want to talk about Nibiru versus Snake Eye real quick is that I see so many people shotgunning Nibiru early against Snake Eye, especially while they still have like Divine Temple plus a Flambridge in the Spell Trap zone. Or I am still seeing people use Nibiru before Flambridge's second or like last effect activates. Don't do that. Like, as you can see with this board state, and again, we just drew Nibiru, so it's not like we misplayed it. I'm just speaking more generally, but a lot of Snake Eye end boards are like already susceptible to Nibiru in and of themselves. So like, you can usually just wait until the end of the combo and nib them. I think more people need to be doing that. Again, we just drew Nibiru, so that's not applicable to us here, but just something I thought of when I saw top deck Nibiru, again, right on time. So opponent's going to DPE and pop the Flambridge as well as the Crimson Gaia we're attempting to activate, which makes sense because it allows them to then, you know, summon back their things and presumably go for Material Appaloosa here. It is a bit early use of the DPE, but I can understand our opponent's reasoning behind it. Okay, they're not using the IP effect, which is kind of interesting. Instead, they're choosing to use the Ash Blossom against the Lubellion. We're going to get to use the Cross-Eye Designator as a result. Now our opponent's going for the IP, which is just far too late, honestly. I suspect our opponent doesn't have their toggle held on, which it really should be. That way you can activate effects at the resolution of a chain link and not have to wait until the next chain link to do something like summon your format Appaloosa. Like, if they had their toggle held on, which maybe they did, but it kind of seemed like they didn't, then they would have been able to summon the Appaloosa before we would have been able to activate Lubellion and use the Appaloosa negate against it. And then, yeah, we would have been, well... we would have been, I was going to say we would have been good, but, like, we're already good here. They're going to use the Appaloosa to negate the Bestial we search, but we get to nib them because they have summoned 5 times, even though it's on our turn. Oh, wait a second, hold on. That was actually kind of brilliant. I want to see that interaction again. Okay, so... we activated Bestial Druiswarm, right? Targeting the IP Masquerade. Opponent chains Appaloosa. We chained Nibiru. That was actually genius for multiple reasons, right? The first reason, of course, being that Appaloosa is only once per chain, right? So They've already, of course, used the effect on the chain link, which means they can't Appaloosa the Nib again. But I didn't even think about this until the chain link resolved. But because Nibiru removed Appaloosa from the field, Appaloosa can't reduce its attack points. It's an and if you do effect. You can make this card lose exactly 800 attack, and if you do, negate the activation. But Appaloosa didn't lose attack because it wasn't on the field anymore. Therefore, the negate didn't go through, and we summoned the Druid Swarm anyway. And the Druid Swarm also got to come down after the Nibiru, which means it didn't get tributed away. That was a great play. That was a very, very good play on your part. Holy cow, that was actually kind of insane. Alright, so we're going to battle over their stuff, then going for Resonator Call for the Soul Resonator. And yeah, Soul Resonator is like a straight up one-card combo. If you're up against the new red deck and you don't know where to disrupt them, just try to stop the Soul Resonator, because again, that's the one-card combo line. But looks like our opponent's going to actually concede before we get to play it out. Boo! Boo! So, that was good. That was some very, very good play on our... That Nibiru was like, mwah, chef's kiss, genius. Some very, very good play on our part, showing that, and this is like, so this is something that I say all the time, right? Because there are some people out there who will like unironically argue that it is the deck that carries people to top ranks and tournament tops. Like, oh, you're only doing well because you're playing Snake Eyes. The player and their skill literally always matters more than the deck, literally every single time. And I think that was demonstrated on both sides here. Two opposite effects. But yeah, no, that was very, very well played on our part, Circular at 3, aka Tess, last name Tickle. So let's take a look at our next duel here. Okay, our next game comes to us from Arcane Ape, who's currently going by Daily Mission. I wonder what they're doing. We have a game where we're going to be seeing, what is it, Earthbound Runic. Yeah, Earthbound Runic with Revolution Synchron up against Snake Eye Cash. I didn't even actually plan it at the start of this video, but actually all three of our games are going to be... Well, I planned all three of our games to be people using new decks, but I didn't plan for them all to be playing against Snake Eye, which is cool. So we're going to see yet another new deck take down the top meta deck here. I don't know much about the Earthbound archetype beyond I have read Stone Sweeper, which is actually a really, really good card. Being able to pitch it to search for any level 3 or lower. Fiend Tuner sounds kind of specific, but is actually not that big of an ask. Line Walker, normal or special summon at an Earthbound Prison or Harmonic Synchro Fusion. This card I know from the anime. This is what you use to fuse and synchro at the same time. Yeah. So you can add that. Banish the card from graveyard to an effect monster. Your opponent controls a special summon. Shuffle the effect monster for the deck. Same way for the extra deck. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. And then, yeah, what's this one? Groundkeeper. Normal special level 5 or lower Earthbound for your deck or graveyard. Cast special summon except for fusion or synchros. You can release effect once per turn. Earthbound. Okay, so it's pulls a monster out of the deck. Okay, they have a field spell 2 Earthbound Prison. Don't mind me as I'm just reading these cards. Some of them for the first time, real quick. This card is activated. Target effect monster controls. Fields out against face effects. So your main phase can get another normal summon. This card is destroyed by card effect. Wave an Earthbound monster, have your opponent's life points, and negate all their effects. Ooh. Okay, cool. Just want to get briefly caught up with what all the Earthbound cards do. Okay, we're starting with Hugin. Looks like we're trying to find that fountain, but the opponent does have an Imperm for us. Alright, we're going to normal summon the Earthbound Prisoner. It's going to special summon the Line Walker from the deck. Line Walker is going to wheel that Harmonic Synchro Fusion that we discarded back into our hand. Now we get to fuse and synchro at the same time with the Harmonic Synchro Fusion. I think this card is sweet. I think this is a really, really, really cool card. The fun thing, too, is that it's not even, like, specifically an Earthbound card. This is actually generic. It does lock you into fusions and synchros, but I think being able to fuse and synchro off of one spell is just insanely cool. So, went by a little bit quick there, but we actually... we summoned Hyper Librarian, TG Hyper Librarian, as well as Predaplant Dragocepelia, with the Line Walker plus Hugin being a sync for 5, as well as the fusion there for a fusion monster and a dark monster. Alright, looks like we're now syncing for a 9. That's going to be the Stellar Wind Wolferate. This is a generic 9 that came out actually quite a while ago. It's not too bad. You know, it has the ability to pretty easily get up to 4,000 attack, and then once it does, that has the ability to kind of board wipe both this card and all monsters your opponent controls into the deck. So it's kind of a one-sided board wipe that also takes itself out, right? 4,000 attack means there only needs to be 5 monster effects activated to get up to 4K. I imagine we'll probably do that during our turn alone. But even if we don't, it's not going to take very many effects from our opponent to get up there, right? So we get to Hugit again for the Fountain, and then we even get to Slumber as well. That way we get to draw 3 off of the Fountain. Revolution Synchron gets to mill to bring itself back, and then we will sync with the Hyper Librarian here. Arcane did know that a possible alternate combo wide is you could have actually synced with the Wolf and then made a Baron and then kept the Hyper Librarian up for an extra draw, but here we're going for the Hot Red Dragon Archfade off the Coral Dragon. Coral Dragon is going to let us draw a card, setting the Runic Slumber and then passing over to our opponent. Draw phase, we're going to activate the Runic Slumber, targeting our Wolf. Now it can't be destroyed by, is it Battle and Card Effect? Well, it doesn't really matter because our opponent's not even going to try. They're not even going to try to play through our board. They're just conceding, which is kind of insane. Like, that was definitely an early concede on their part, which is something that I've talked about in videos even recently. Like, so many people on Master Duel are just so unwilling to even try to play through a board. Like, here we didn't even have the, well, I guess we could have still potentially drawn, right, cards off of the Runic Fountain, but we're only getting 1 draw off of it. Like, they don't know we don't have runic spells in hand, but, I don't know, it's like, sometimes I feel like people really let their imaginations run wild. I feel like our opponent here was like, they're gonna get another draw, and I bet they already have runic spells in hand. I got the stupid Wolf to deal with, and I'm just gonna concede. When in reality, it's like, all you had to deal with was the stupid Wolf. Now, granted, we did Runic Slumber on it, which only prevents 1 destruction, though. It only prevents the 1, so I don't know. Maybe we milled some important cards from them that I wasn't paying attention to, but who knows? In any case, I did think it was a bit of an early concede on their part. Alright, thank you for that game, Arcane Ape. We have 1 more game to check out before we end off, so let's take a look at that. Okay, our last duel comes to us from friend of the channel, my good buddy Meep Square. Meep Square just recently hit 1,000 subs on YouTube, which is so insanely cool. It's so awesome. I know I've had Meeps on the channel and on streams before, and shouting them out a bunch of times, so I want to thank every one of you who helped Meeps get up to 1,000 YouTube subs. Very, very cool, very awesome. Meeps, I think, is also going to be streaming soon-ish. I don't know what the timeline exactly is for that, but I do definitely look forward to seeing his streams and hanging out there, and I suggest you all do the same. I'll definitely be sharing his stuff on like Twitter and stuff when that all comes out, so definitely keep an eye out. We have a game from Meeps here where Meeps is using Tistina, the new, again, yet another one of the new selection decks. And I believe in this duel room, against another good buddy of mine, DJ, we are going to end up playing against Snake Eye again. So Tistina, for those who don't know, and I wouldn't blame you for not knowing, is another one of the new archetypes. And of all of them, I think this is the one that has the hardest time working competitively. So I'm very eager to see how Meeps is able to pilot this deck to a W. I know almost nothing about Tistina. I like glance at some of their effects, and they even read pretty anti-synergistically, but alright, we don't have any disruption here either, which is kind of unfortunate. Actually, look at our hands. It's kind of unlucky. We opened both Fateful and Dracoback. Alright, looks like DJ's doing some pretty typical Snake Eye stuff. Okay, so that's their field spell. They have a terraforming for that. You're gonna main phase to get an extra normal summon. Yeah, I just want to read this real quick. Extra normal summon, right? Yep. You can target a face of blight monster. Face of monster control if you control light Tistina. Face of monster controls flip it face down. Then add a Tistina card. Okay. Straight by opponent's card effect on this card, you can banish this card, especially on a light Tistina monster, but they're water. Yeah, that's the thing that's kind of confusing about them, is that, like, They care a lot about light Tessinas, but not all of them are light. I mean, it's mainly, I think, the gods slash goddesses, because it's kind of like what Tessina's all about. There's like these like crystal god things or whatever. But not ultimate crystals, that's crystal beasts. I don't know, it's like thematically too, I don't really know what's going on with this archetype. Like here, yeah, this one's like wind, but again, they all care about the light ones, so it's like... They also care a lot about flipping stuff face down. Alright, we're gonna tuning for the Revolution Synchron, dumping another tuning. Activate the Fallen of the Tessina for the field spell here. Alright, the field spell says during your main phase, you can send Tessina for your deck to the graveyard. If your opponent controls 3 or more face-up cards, you can special summon a Crystal God Tessina for your hand or deck. You can use this effect once per turn. Discarded field zone is destroyed by opponent's card effect. You special summon 1 Tessina monster from your deck or graveyard. 3 or more face-up monsters. Wait, what? 3 or more face-up monsters, but all of our stuff cares about flipping them down. That's so... it's archetype. I don't know what's going on with it. Again, it's like you just... when you read an archetype's cards and just are immediately confused, it's typically not the best sign in the world. But anyway. Ooh, looks like we're going to Nightmare Unicorn pitch the Flamberge Dragon to bounce the field spell here. Flamberge is also going to proc in order to bring back Ash and Oak. Now Ash and Oak are going to proc to add Poplar. Geez, say that 5 times fast. Poplar going to add the original Sin as well. We're activating the Fateful Adventure, then using the effect to add Water Enchantress. Probably just binning her, right? Yeah. Enchantress F will then activate to add the Rite of our Messire. Activating Rite to get our token. Looks like we're trying to go for the Draco back bounce here, maybe? Opponent DJ is going to use the Promethean Princess as well as Linkuriboh here. That way they get the Linkuriboh out and then pop the Adventure token. So no equip spell coming down. It was probably easy to guess that we were holding the equip spell in hand because we never end up adding it when we summon the token, right? So gonna use the continuous spell to add and then flip down the Tessina in our hand. Demigod effect can special summon to add another copy of the field spell. So we are gonna get that live. So we're milling and then summoning the Crystal God Tessina. Crystal God Tessina flips down. Wow. So I will say, this is like, I think the best thing that the archetype does have going for it is when you do get the Crystal God out, having the ability to do the Daruma Cannon effect is very, very good. It's not a quick effect. You can only do it during your turn, which is honestly kind of another weakness this archetype has, right? Is that it feels to me anyway, I don't know, maybe an expert like Meeps could tell me, but this feels to me like a going second archetype because it cares so much about your opponent having either face-up or face-down cards that, and a lot of the deck's power comes from turning their stuff face-down, right? So you also get to do that effect when the card is destroyed, which is kind of neat, so... Alright, looks like we're going for the Xyz monster. That is a cool summon animation, I will definitely admit. Tessina, the divinity, sends all face-down cards in the field to the graveyard. So that's kind of like the game plan of this deck, right? Is like... You use, I guess still as an Xyz material, using Crystal God Tessina, right? We can Daruma Cannon our opponent, flipping everything down, and then sending everything that's left up to the graveyard. And then after that, you go into the Xyz monster, which then, once it's special summoned, it sends all of the remaining face-down cards to the yard, right? So, alright, now we're trying to detach and give it another 2k attack. Looks like DJ is going to negate that with an Imperm. Moving to battle anyway, gonna smack with the Hound of the Tessina as well as the Tessina, the divinity that defies the darkness, which is a cool name. Passing back over to DJ after giving them so many draws off of Maxi. One of them is, of course, going to be the Snake Eye Ash. Being normal summoned and adding Jet Synchron. We're going to use Original Sin to send the Ash or to summon Oak. Oak's going to bring back Poplar from the graveyard. Poplar F is going to activate to add the Subversion. Ooh. Linkuriboh coming back, sacking off of the Poplar. That'll proc the Poplar effect to put Flamberge in our spell trap zone. Now Oak can send itself with Flamberge to pull out another Ash. This will proc the Flamberge to bring back Poplar and Ash. Okay, we're going to link those two off for... do we have a Fire Monster in the yard? I don't think we do, yeah. So it's going for Sunlight Wolf. And now we're linking all 4 off into Access Code, looks like. Yep. Because we already used Nightmare Unicorn, that's right. We used that last turn. Alright, looks like we are using the access code to pick off our opponent's board, but popping the field spell actually procs not only the field spell, but also the Fallen of Tistina as well. DJ's going to get another Max C in here to get some draws off of the advantage Meeps is getting, sending the Demigod out from the deck, as well as the Sentinel. I think that one was called, right? Yeah, Sentinel. What does the Demigod do? Oh, this is one that's special and then add a spell card. Right. It does actually also have a quick effect to turn stuff face down, but unfortunately all that was on the field was access code, which cannot be turned face down, so womp womp. Okay, we're summoning Diabel, setting Original Sin, shuffling the trap card back into the deck, using the Sinful Spoils of Subversion to push back the Xyz monster. Battling over their stuff here, but Meeps is definitely still in the game here. DJ setting Call by before passing. Now moving on to Meeps' turn. We're top decking Griffin Rider. Not like the best draw in the world, but not like the worst. Well, we have a monster on the field, so it actually isn't that good at all, is it? Looks like they're going to Valor our attempt to... Again, sorry to pause again, but what does this card do? Target destroy and then add a Tistina card. Okay, so we set Draco back to pop it to add. Got it. Makes sense. All right. Whoa, 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 whoa! We have an adventure card that I'm not familiar with. Magical Warrior of the Relics, level 4, 23 attack, 1000 defense. Cannot attack unless you control an adventure token. Okay, you can only use the following effects of Magical Warrior of the Relics once per turn. You control an adventure token, use a specialist card from hand. At the end of the battle phase, if you're a monster that mentions an adventure token battle, you can set a trap card that mentions an adventure token directly from the deck. Interesting. Do we play that? No. Okay, so it looks like it's just a level 4 body. It's a level 4 body that's searchable. That's why we're playing it. That lets us go into 7 with the Revolution Synchron to be able to make the Ancient Fairy Dragon. Ugh, this call by on the Revolution Synchron is so brutal. Ah, it's so brutal. Oh, okay, I see. Well, no, because it's level 5. This is 3, right? So we could have gone for Guarded Rose Maiden. I did see the Blackguard in the extra deck here. Looks like we're making the Vert Anaconda, sending Super Poly. Oh my god. Is that our only Anaconda target? I think it is, actually. That's insane. What the hell? Going for the Predaplant. Not the Dragostapelia, but the Triffinoverturm. The big one. Wow, crushing DJ's Diabel Star, leaving them with only Gamma and Jet Synchron, as well as a top-decked Called By. So it's in the extra deck. When you control his fusion summon card, you can negate the summon and destroy that monster. Jesus. Wow, that just negates an extra deck summon straight up and destroys it. That's insane. And even when we didn't even use it on Hita, because even when it brought back our fire monster, it's like, doesn't do anything here, unfortunately. Unfortunately for DJ, that is. Another Super Poly. So we have Mud Dragon, Garura, and then the Predaplant. Wow, that was good. That was insane. Damn. So maybe I was a little bit quick to talk the Tistinas. They definitely did a little bit more there than I thought they would. Although, I will say that was also probably... It's funny because that feels like an ideal Tistina game, but we did get disrupted a fair bit. So maybe the deck is a little bit better than I and everyone else have been giving them credit for. But probably only a little bit. But in any case, thank you very much, Meeps and DJ, for that game there. Just wanted to thank everyone who submitted to the viewer special. Again, regardless of if you got featured or not, just the fact that you're submitting is like what keeps the series going. I love the viewer special, and it literally couldn't do it without you, all the viewers. So thank you, each and every one of you. But that's going to go ahead and do it. This is HexLex. I'm signing out, and I'm also hoping that you have a fantastic day. Oh, no, this isn't the outro. Now we're going to move on to the outro where I'll say that. Jeez. Okay, yeah. All right. See ya.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. That means a lot to me. It's also a great way to support the channel, so thank you very much in that way as well. If you're interested in supporting the channel in other ways, like the very special patrons that I am thanking here, you can do so by checking out some of the links in the description. One of those goes to the Patreon, where you can join these fine folk and support the channel that way. I do post daily content over on Patreon, so you do get something for supporting there. And if you're interested, I also have a coaching tier option as well. Details again will be on Patreon in the link below. Also in the description linked below is my Twitch page where I stream a few times a week. You can go ahead and check that out, follow or subscribe over there if you ever want to catch me live. You'll also find my second YouTube channel if you feel like subscribing over there to watch some of the Twitch VODs as well as some additional non-Yu-Gi-Oh related content that I make over there. Again, any of those links you want to check out is all a great way of supporting. But again, even if you don't do that, just watching was also a fantastic way to support. And once again, I have to thank you so very much. But in any case, this is Hexlex. I'm going to be signing out, and I'm hoping you have a fantastic day.